the second part of this divided motion, Frank, if you want to come up to move that.
Also move, Mr. Chairman, but would it be possible to make it the regulations of the Animal Health Act?
The motion says the new Animal Health Act. If you wish to amend it, once we have it on the table, we will do that. Or you have the option to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So you've moved it. Who's your seconder? Mr. Ferentz?
Yes.
Okay. So it's moved. Help me out here. Can he amend his own motion? He should get someone else to amend it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
I've noticed I'm being very polite up here.
I noticed that.
I guess I'll just point out there are a lot of problems to the proposed new regulations to the Act. And I'll leave it at that. If somebody wants to amend it to regulations, that would be nice.
Okay, and Craig? Do you wish to speak to it, the seconder? Okay, so we have this motion moved, and it talks about the new Animal Health Act. The mover has indicated something that it would be more accurate if it had to do with regulations. However, that is not what is on the table right now. If you wish to have that on the table, we do need someone to amend that. Harvey? To add regulations. Do you have a seconder? Seconder Rick Burton? Okay. And we will deal with the amendment, which is the addition of regulations. Okay. Do you wish to speak to it, Harvey? Okay. Is there anyone who wishes to speak in opposition to that? Okay. We are voting on the amendment. The amendment is to add, to be it resolved, ABP oppose the new Animal Health Act regulations. Yes?
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. I feel I'm at quite a disadvantage here because I don't know enough of the details of the regulations to oppose them. And I would suggest we table this and send this resolution to committee to investigate the regulations more thoroughly and bring them forward, a recommendation for it at that time.
Okay, and I'm trying to think here. When we have an amendment on the table, can we table? I think we're going to vote on the amendment.
Okay.
Then we have an opportunity to table the motion if we wish. Okay? So, be it resolved, the amendment, which is what we're voting on, be it resolved that ABP oppose the new Animal Health Act regulations, or certain of those. All those in favor of that amendment? All those opposed? Okay, the amendment is passed. Now we have this resolution, and if you wish to step up.
Darcy Elliston, Zone 8. As I stated, I feel somewhat at a disadvantage to vote on this resolution, not knowing the full extent of the regulations. And I would suggest we table this motion, send it to a committee to come up with a more thorough investigation and make a recommendation at a later date.
Okay, it's been moved to table. I believe that's not a debatable motion. So it's been moved to table this resolution pending further information, so it's going to back the appropriate party. That is not debatable, so I will ask for a vote. All those in favor of tabling this motion?
You need a seconder, no?
Oh, sorry. Brian Edge was a seconder. Jumped the gun here. Okay, all those in favor of tabling this motion? I need a count. Okay, no, it's okay. All those opposed? Okay, the motion is tabled. Therefore, it will come back at some point to the body. Certainly not probably this body today, but at some point in the future. Okay? Roy?
Roy Eckert, Zone 6. Sorry, I'm not sure what the correct title is. Point of order?
It would be a point of order allows you to come up at this point, yes.
Question. If a motion is tabled at our AGM, does that motion not need to come back to this same meeting? It cannot go to a committee A motion tabled at this meeting cannot be taken from the table at a committee level, I believe. My apologies for not understanding the procedure more appropriately.
Roseanne?
He's right, it needs to be postponed until, and it needs to be stated to the next board meeting, or otherwise you have, if you table it at the end of this meeting, it's gone, it's dead.
Okay, so as the motion stands, the tabling motion that stands would mean that this motion is effectively gone at the end of this meeting, unless in the motion it addresses when it's to come back to the table.
It's
Or-
postponed until the next board meeting, or a committee can be struck to address it.
Okay?
I have no idea what to say.
Where do you want it sent?
Yes,
I think you mentioned in your comments, but not in the motion.
Okay, correct.
Where do you want it sent?
I think it should be sent to a committee and brought back. It's semi-annual. Is that too late? Or should it just, maybe it should just go to the board meeting once the committee has a recommendation.
Okay?
Just a question here. If you changed the motion so it said that you asked the government for more consultation and input before it's implemented, would that solve it?
Sorry, just a minute. That I'm not going to allow, because we're in the middle of a tabling motion. All we're trying to determine is where it gets tabled to. So my understanding is it gets tabled to a committee to be brought back to the board.
Yes.
Postponed.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman.
At the microphone.
Frank Murphy, I think you were dealing with the motion you have already tabled. It's been voted on. The motion's tabled. I think the only way we can do anything with this motion is a motion to take it off the table and then handle it a different way if we wanted to.
1 second. Okay. The three wise people have come up with a solution here. So at this point, the body has tabled this motion. So over the next 2 days until tomorrow at noon, if someone wishes to bring it off of the table, like not right now, but tomorrow morning, if you wish to bring it off the table, we can try and bring it off the table. There will be a vote on that, and then you can address it in which way you will. So at this point, it is tabled. With nothing will happen to it if it does not come off the table. There. That's what we agreed on? Thank you. I knew you would test me pretty quick. I didn't know how quick. But that's good. Thanks, Frank. We are now going to... so this one is tabled at this point. And that would have been 5A. 6.